Yeah. We the people are in the beginning, above the noise, and present at the moment. Right? We the people are not outside the story. We are inside the courtroom of history. Not as spectators, not as subjects, but as witnesses to the unfolding question of what we have agreed to become. And on this day, this return to origin, this 250th echo of a declaration spoken into uncertainty, we are reminded that beginnings are never clean. They are not quiet. They are not resolved. They are contested from the moment they are spoken, because a nation is not born once. It is born again every time its people look at the structure of their own authority and ask whether it still carries the spirit that called it into being. We, the people. Not a slogan, a tension. A living agreement between freedom and order that has never stopped negotiating its own boundaries. And there are institutions that stand like stone in that negotiation: courts, records, procedures, the architecture of consequence, built to hold chaos still long enough for truth to be spoken into it. But truth does not always arrive cleanly. It arrives through testimony, through conflict, through contradiction, through the friction between what is seen and what is declared. And it sounded like a good idea at the time, because every system begins as an attempt to contain what cannot be fully contained. Every structure begins as faith that order can be made visible. But history does not stay contained. It leaks through language. It accumulates in memory. It repeats itself in new forms wearing old symbols. And we are the ones who inherit that repetition, not as burden alone, but as responsibility to look again, to listen again, to decide again. Freedom is not absence of structure. It is the ongoing question of whether structure still serves the living. And justice is not a moment. It is a demand that time itself does not become blind to what passes through it. So we gather at the edge of reflection, not to rewrite the past, but to understand that the past is still speaking through every institution it left behind. And the eagle does not choose sides. It sees distance. It sees pattern. It sees the way small moments become larger meanings when enough time passes through them. And below that height, the world continues in procedure and motion. Decisions made, records kept, accounts given, stories forming in real time about what kind of nation is being witnessed. But witnessing is not passive, it is participation. To see is to be implicated in interpretation. To be present is to be responsible for meaning. We, the people, are that responsibility. Not once, not finished, not resolved. And in this 250th year of the Declaration, we are not simply celebrating a beginning. We are standing inside its continuation, inside its reinterpretation, inside its unfinished sentence, because a declaration is not an artifact. It is a living pressure placed on time itself, a question that does not expire. And every generation hears it differently, not because the words change, but because the world around them does. So the beginning remains open, not behind us, not complete, but present, still forming in the chaos we make when we decide what we believe authority is for, what we believe freedom requires, what we believe justice must see. And it sounded like a good idea at the time because every beginning does until it becomes history, and history becomes responsibility. We, the people, are still inside that transformation, still inside that beginning, still inside the question that refuses to close. We, the people, are in the beginning. Thank you.